What's up, race fans? Mike here. Welcome back inside the garage area. And silly season is starting to get a little less silly. The pieces are falling into place for 2021. First off, we know where Austin Hendrick and Matt Benedetto are going. Hendrick is still going to be full-time Xfinity in 2021, while Benedetto is being retained at Wood Brothers next season. However, Austin Hendrick will also be full-time Cup in 2022 for Penske, who he's replacing. Let the speculation begin on that. Alex Bowman will move from the 88 to the 48. Now, I had long panned Kyle Larson for that ride, but after his little incident, I understand why they went with Alex Bowman. Ally Bank did not want someone with an incident like that in their car, and I don't blame them. I really don't. Also, big silly season hint dropped a little earlier today, and that is Clint Bowyer retiring. In a letter posted to his Twitter, he says that he has a new opportunity to do what's next in his life. In 2021, my suit will no longer be fireproof. I will be joining the Fox booth on Sundays. Just like my driving career, I will be part of a great team and organization with great teammates. To say I'm excited would be an understatement. He goes on to thank every owner who has paid a bill on his behalf, every crew member who has turned a bolt on his cars, and every media member who has covered his racing career. He thanks the sponsors, and he thanks the fans. Closes out by saying, "Opportunity? Fox, here I come." So congrats to Clint Bowyer on a remarkable 16-year career. Could have been even better had he been in better equipment. So, there's that. Now, the Kyle Larson mystery. The Kyle Larson situation. Starting to get clearer and clearer. And it all traces back to the essay that he penned on Sunday. And in that essay, he talks about his journey since that iRacing debacle. He has done sprint car racing, winning at about a 70% clip. He been working with the Urban Youth Racing School. Talked about his bond with one of their students, Jasir, the owners of the Urban Youth Racing School, Anthony and Michelle Martin. Of course, we all know about the Kyle Larson N-word incident. During the Monza Madness iRacing event on April 12th, Kyle Larson lost communication with a spotter, and while trying to reestablish, he dropped an N-word. Hard R, by the way. So we saw Anthony Alfredo, Alexander Rossi, Connor Daly, guys like that. We called him out on it. And then Kyle Larson's whole career, well, that basically just took a downward spiral. Fiserv, Credit One Bank, McDonald's, Chevrolet all disavowed him. He was first suspended by NASCAR, suspended by Chip Ganassi Racing, who later fired him. And now he's done some re-education. In the essay, he says there was no excuse for his ignorance. Larson is a Japanese American. His maternal grandparents were held in an internment camp during World War II, and he goes on to say that his mom and dad were disappointed in him, and that really affected him. So trust me when I say that they did not raise my sister and I this way. But even though I let them down in a particularly hurtful manner, they still supported me when I most needed them. I was and will always be grateful for how they helped navigate me the last 5 months of my life. But as much as my parents have always believed in me, there's no one who holds me to a higher standard than I do. And I had failed. I wanted to hide. I shut down my social media accounts. In time of COVID-19, wearing a mask in public actually made me feel more comfortable. It wasn't healthy at all. I needed to take back control. He says since April he's done a lot of reflecting. He realized how little he really knew about the African American experience in this country and racism in general. His first lesson: N-word is not mine to use. It's not his to use, it's not mine to use, it's not anyone's to use. It cannot be part of anyone's vocabulary. History of that word is connected to slavery, injustice, and trauma. That is deep and has gone on for far too long. Now, I know Kyle had no ill intentions with saying that word after reviewing the incident countless times. But that word, the hard R, that should not be in anyone's vocabulary. At all. And I understand NASCAR's reasoning on the suspension. I understand Chip Ganassi's reasoning on suspension and later firing Kyle Larson. So there's that. Says his ignorance ended up insulting an entire community of people who, in the year 2020, in this crazy year we're going through, still have to fight for justice and equality. And when he looks back at these last few months and see all the protests and unrest in our country and the pain black people are going through, it just hurts to know that what I said contributed to that pain. And NASCAR has a zero-tolerance policy on this type of behavior. When they suspended Kyle, they gave him a plan with mandatory sensitivity training, and went from right there. Kyle's been in regular contact with NASCAR, the sanctioning body, and he's learned and grown as he's gone through the program. Kyle continues to express hope to race in NASCAR again, and I hope to see him in NASCAR again. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him in any motorsports, especially NASCAR. He also needed to do some work on his own, so he's been working with Doug Harris of the Kaleidoscope Group. And in early May, he traveled to Minnesota and volunteered in a food drive organized by Tony San. I think I'm pronouncing that right. San is a retired pro soccer player who has his own charitable foundation. After the death of George Floyd, he went back to Minneapolis and joined Tony and his leadership team at the memorial that had been set up. He goes on to talk about how he's been working with Olympic legend Jackie Joyner-Kersee, touring her community center in St. Louis. He even talked with his fellow race car driver, Bubba Wallace. So far, the only current NASCAR Cup driver who is of the African American community. Now, this is the biggest clue that we've had so far. He's also talked with corporate executives like Kevin Lyles, formerly of Def Jam, and Perry Stuckey of Eastman. Now, Eastman, by the way, manufactures Lumar window films. Lumar was a primary sponsor of Alex Bowman's 88 car the past 2 years. So, Kyle Larson has been talking with Perry Stuckey from Eastman, which is a NASCAR sponsor. Not just a NASCAR sponsor, but a sponsor on a Hendrick car. Larson to the 88? And I'm hearing rumors that the 88 could be turned into Larson's personal number, his sprint car number, the 57. Could be the 5, could be the 25. Hendrick has an affinity for those numbers. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to say that right now it's the 88 car. And with the clues I've taken from the essay that Larson has talked with Perry Eastman, I have reason to believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Kyle Larson is going to the 4th Hendrick car, the 88. As of right now, it's the 88. We'll just have to see how things unfold over the past few weeks leading up to the championship finale at Phoenix International Raceway on November 7th. But I have every reason to believe that through his talks with Perry Stuckey, his talks with NASCAR executives, with Chevrolet executives, that all signs are pointing towards Kyle Larson's return to NASCAR with Hendrick Motorsports. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Rock on, race fans.